Boxing experts have highlighted the most anticipated moments from the upcoming Mike Tyson vs. Jake Paul fight, with Tyson facing off Paul. In a recent press conference, experts have weighed in on the potential highlights from the upcoming fight in New York. The crowd was overwhelmingly in Tyson's favor, their cheers and applause creating a raucous atmosphere as Paul stepped onto the stage only to be met with a chorus of boos. Meanwhile, the former undisputed heavyweight champion was greeted like a conquering hero. At one point, a Jake Paul chant started in the fan zone, prompting an angry response from the problem child. Paul told the crowd in New York to be quiet, adding that they should boo themselves. He compared the city to Mike Tyson, saying both were good 20 years ago, and then insulted the city further.
Hey, New York, shut the f*** up, New York. Hey, boo yourselves. Boo yourselves, New York. Hey, New York, New York, New York, you're just like Mike Tyson. You were good 20 years ago. F*** you, New York. F*** you. Dumbass Democratic City.
Despite Paul's numerous attempts to provoke Tyson during the press event, the boxing legend remained unshaken and resolutely indifferent. Paul taunted Tyson, accusing him of needing a menopause break to postpone the fight, and questioning if his stomach was still bothering him. In response, Tyson casually replied that he felt much better now.
To go on your little menopause break and postpone the fight, so yeah. What about that, dog? I was ready before. You needed a little break. Your tummy hurt? Your tummy hurt still?
I feel a lot better now. I feel a lot better.
Asked by the master of ceremonies whether he was really sick or just scared to fight, Paul, Tyson quipped he was terrified upon meeting in person. At the conclusion of the press conference, Tyson gave Paul 2 light-hearted shoves. The YouTuber-turned-boxer wasn't amused by the jest instead. He thumped his chest and retaliated with a serious glare, his expression unwaveringly stern. Paul appeared tense during the press conference and had earlier in the evening threatened to kill Tyson. Paul expressed that while he loved and respected Mike Tyson, they were no longer friends. He declared that on November 15th, he would knock Tyson out and prove who the real winner was, calling Tyson old, and stating that he would discipline him like a son.
Why I love Mike, I respect him, but we're not friends anymore. Until November 15th, I'm knocking this motherfucker out, and we're gonna see who's dead. We will see who's dead. We will see who's dead, Mike. We will. We will.
Hey,
Mike, when you hear Jake Paul say, though, we're gonna see who's dead, what does that do to you? Does that make you put yourself in the mindset of understanding that this young killer wants to take you out?
is he really a young killer?
Ahead of their boxing match later this year, Mike Tyson answered a question on Jake Paul's threat. In November, he and Paul will meet in the ring, marking the former undisputed heavyweight champion's return to professional boxing. After nearly 2 decades, his last bout ended in a retirement on his stool after 5 rounds against Kevin McBride. Paul told Tyson that while everyone expected him to be knocked out, he planned to make history by putting Tyson to sleep instead. He acknowledged Tyson's claims that it would be his funeral and wake. But despite his respect for Tyson, Paul emphasized that they were no longer friends. He vowed to knock Tyson out and see who would actually be left standing.
People in my comments saying, look at his power, he's gonna get KO'd. People are yelling at me in the event, but what happens when I put this man to sleep? This is not a joke. He's saying that it's gonna be my funeral. He's saying it's gonna be my wake. He's gonna kill Jake Paul, all of these things. And that's why I love Mike, I respect him, but we're not friends anymore. Until November 15th, I'm knocking this motherfucker.
During the press conference, host Ryan Clark asked Tyson how he felt hearing Jake Paul say, "We're going to see who's dead," and whether it made him adopt a mindset of understanding that this young killer wanted to take him out. Tyson responded perfectly, questioning, is he really a young killer? Tyson elaborated by pointing out that a YouTuber was about to fight the greatest fighter who ever lived. He acknowledged that Paul might have faced opponent on with similar intentions, but emphasized that the reality would be different. This time, Tyson confidently stated that once he landed a punch, the fight would be over and Paul would end up running.
Listen to the fact. We got a YouTuber fighting the greatest fighter that ever lived.
Jake, when you...
Every time these fighters sit across from me and it's YouTuber, it's Disney Channel, all that shit, and then you end up on the fucking canvas and you'll see it's gonna be no different here, I promise you that.
I mean, with people with the same intention, but the actuality, no. Catch this guy, because he's gonna be running around, but as soon as I catch this guy, it's gonna be totally over.
Tyson also insisted he is fit to fight, and that he has returned to training after being forced to down tools on his doctor's orders. Tyson commented on the fight, confirming that it was happening, and that he was well prepared. He acknowledged facing a minor setback due to illness, but assured that he had recovered and was feeling good. Tyson added that he was ready and would let his actions speak. When the time came to fight, it's happening. We're all here, all here. How prepared are you to knock Jake Paul out? I'm very prepared. I'm very prepared. I had a small adversity. I got sick, but I'm better. I'm feel good. On the other hand, a UFC legend has just leaked the amount of money Mike Tyson will earn for fighting Jake Paul. The battle was originally scheduled for July 20th at Arlington, Texas's at-NT Stadium, but in June it was officially announced that the bout had been put on hold indefinitely. It was reported later that month that Tyson versus Paul would take place on November 15th and be televised live on Netflix. In a statement, co-founder of Most Valuable Promotions, Nisa Badarian, said, "Our team has worked diligently with all parties involved to reschedule this monumental fight to a date that ensures both Jake Paul and Mike Tyson are fully prepared with equal training time, as well as allowing us to keep the event at at-NT Stadium in the midst of the Cowboys season." Badarian further added, "We appreciate the outstanding dedication, collaboration, and flexibility of our partners at Netflix, and at-NT Stadium, Paul versus Tyson is the most cross-generational sporting event in history, and we are committed to providing fans worldwide with this unforgettable night of boxing live globally on Netflix. We look forward to seeing everyone on Friday, November 15th, for a showdown that will be talked about for generations to come." UFC fighter Henry Cejudo stated earlier this year that Tyson will get $20 million for taking on Paul during an appearance on his podcast with Kamaru Usman. So Cejudo said, "I mean, you know what, I respect Uncle Mike, but it obviously takes two to tango. I feel like there's probably a really good payday for Mike. He's probably going to wind up making close to about 20 mil, and he's about to turn 58 years old." Daniel Corm, a former UFC champion, stated that Paul and Tyson are in a no-win scenario. He said it might ruin you if he just beats on Mike Tyson. He's in a no-win situation. I don't know that he thought this one through as much as he probably should have been, because if you just go out there and you just beat the out of Mike Tyson, everybody's going to be really mad at you. I mean really mad, as Jake Paul gears up for his November 15th bout on Netflix against heavyweight legend Mike Tyson. He set the stage with a bold assertion about his anticipated earnings from the event. "I'm here to make $40 million and knock out a legend," Paul said during Sunday's press conference at Fanatics Fest in New York City. Paul also trolled Mike Tyson by making disparaging comments about his native New York City at Sunday's event. Paul embraced the spotlight, fueling the jeers from the New York City audience with his bold claims that he would stun the world when he and Tyson face off in the ring. Meanwhile, Tyson maintained a relaxed demeanor while responding to questions posed by ESPN analyst Ryan Clark, who moderated the press conference during their face-off. The former heavyweight champion even indulged in a light-hearted shove towards Paul when asked why he would agree to a fight against Paul despite their 30-year age difference. Tyson responded, "Because I can, who else can do it? But me, who else is he going to fight to make this happen? We just got to listen to the fact we got a YouTuber fighting the greatest fighter that has ever lived." Following the press presentation, Paul wrote on X that when the two enter the ring in November, he will give Tyson his end. Tyson and Paul were set to clash on July 20th, but the 58-year-old had to pull out because of a troublesome ulcer flare-up in his place. Paul stepped into the ring with bare-knuckle fighting championship standout Mike Perry securing a victory by 6th-round TKO and elevating his professional record to 10-1. The 27-year-old is convinced that stepping into the ring with Tyson is a crucial step toward achieving his dream of becoming a boxing champion. Although many may be skeptical of Paul's chances, his ability to attract a massive audience remains undeniable. The November bout promises to be as captivating as ever. What comes to mind when you picture Mike Tyson in the ring? It's his explosive power and relentless aggression, a whirlwind of punches that defies age or time away from the sport. This is exactly why Tim Bradley Jr. places his trust in Tyson to deliver a knockout victory.